Your favorite beaners are back. Ooh. We're back in the space. We've always enjoyed being able to, or actually take the opportunity to sit down, both of us. Previously, working a full-time job, having a business, but more than anything, it was the equipment we were using, the microphones I had to edit, which I know nothing about, and it was too time-consuming. So we switched to wireless mics, which I am not.
EMFs.
Ooh, I'm not happy about.
I'm static about it.
But we did miss the time,
Talking to you guys.
more than anything, time to just set aside and be able to go deep into topics that we enjoyed talking about. This time around, we're going to talk specifically about something that we are very passionate about, that we've been around since we were, 4 or 5 years old?
4 years old.
4 years old, and that we're still very heavily involved today. And I think we are able to bring a unique perspective because we live it as coaches / trainers, as fans / viewers, and now as players, which I think this first episode we're going to talk about
As vets.
as vets.
As vets at this point, but yeah.
How, for the first time in our life, we're going to be playing in the same team. We're going to be playing together. We announced it previously on Instagram, so this shouldn't be news.
Go like it if
Because
you haven't already.
obviously everyone follows our Instagram.
Yeah.
So you don't know, excuse me, you don't know what I want to go into today.
Nope.
Part of it is this new journey that we're going to embark as teammates, which I'm really excited about. But before we go into that, I want you to give us a brief summary of your career as a player. You can go back as long as you want. Let's keep it brief because I know we can talk about this for a very long time, which we have before. But talk about the different teams at the different ages and stages of your life, and what each team and experience left you with as an athlete, but also as a human. What lessons you learned, how it impacted you, again, as a human, as an athlete. So I'll give you some time to think about it because I know that's one thing you asked for, but
No.
first team that comes to mind.
I was just trying to phrase Kanye. But, so I started playing when I was 4 in a team called,
Sorry, go ahead, continue.
in a team called Rayados de Laredo or something like that. It's not the one that's currently there.
What's Zamora?
With Zamora. Oscar Zamora or Marcelo? Something like that.
Shout out to the Zamora family.
Yes, sir. And that was my very first team. I played in Laredo from the age of 4 till the age of 12. When I was 12, I got scouted and recruited for Rayados, Fuerzas Básicas Academy in Mexico. I lived there for 3 years. It was my dream, basically. I very selfishly made the decision that I wanted to move over there. But it was a very nice experience that I learned a lot from.
So at 12, I know the story, but for the viewers, how do you get recruited?
Like the time I was being a ball boy and Profe Ordaz was there, or?
Well, how would you, like, if you're telling the story,
So,
instead of being like, oh, from 4 to 12, I played.
no, well, you wanted it brief, so I made it as brief as possible. But I was playing for a team in Laredo, and I was a ball boy for their senior team. And one of the...
I'm going to try to put a picture when you were the team mascot.
Good luck doing that. So I was team mascot and ball boy, and after the games I would get the ball I was using and start shooting. And it turns out one of the players, we knew this because he was our coach too, but he was our coach and a player from the team. But his dad was a Monterrey scout, a Rayo scout. And I remember one time he went up to me when I was shooting. He's like, "Oh, would you like to come to Mexico with me to play?" And I mean, I was
On some Jeffrey.
on some Jeffrey shit. No, I didn't know who he was, and at the time you just heard like bad things about Mexico, so I was like, no, and I ran away. And then you were like, no, he's a scout, say yes. I was like, oh, okay, like yeah, when I'm older. And then it turns out like 3 years later, that academy I was playing for, like their senior team was gonna play America, Rayados, and Chivas. There's gonna be like some sort of like little tournament going on. So they organized a game for the youth academy to get scouted by, or to get seen by their scouts. And Monterrey was the only one that officially invited me. Supposedly there's interest, but Monterrey invited me, and I went to try out summer 2013.
Okay. So, living in Laredo all your life, you get scouted, you get invited. So, they see you here, and then they invite you to trial, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
How long were you on trial over there?
It was like a 3-week thing, but I would like, it was like 3 days for 3 weeks, and I would go those 3 days, go back home, go again into Monterrey for 3 days, go back home, and so on.
For those 3 weeks, there's 2 questions I want to ask you. One, you going from like a Laredo local, quote unquote small, doesn't mean bad, but small youth club, to going to a professional youth academy. Did you feel good enough, like you were quality to compete?
I felt I can compete. It was crazy because supposedly I was invited to like after the second filter, so I wasn't even part of the first filter. But apparently from the first filter there was like over 100 kids trying out. When I went, it was like 40-50 kids, so it was like a shit ton of competition. It was like a lot of stronger, because in Laredo, like you're in your own bubble, so like you know everybody, you know every team, you know all the players you play against, so like there's nothing new. And now I was facing a bunch of new kids that I had never seen before, never played against, which a lot of them were bigger, stronger, faster, and you also had to keep up technically, so it was like a big like shock in a way. And it's kids that are actually playing for something more than just to play in an academy.
Yeah, that's another thing. Not that in Laredo it doesn't exist, but you go to a city like Monterrey, where for a lot of people, their way out of their current situation is through soccer. So that's another element of competition that it does catch you off surprise. It's like this isn't a hobby, or as much as it's a hobby and a passion, for some people it's also their way out from their current situation. Also, second question, were you nervous? Were you excited while you were living that experience? Was it stressful? Were you enjoying it?
For the tryouts?
Yeah.
I was extremely nervous. But I mean, I enjoyed it because, I mean, you kind of make friends quickly in a way, since you're like playing with different guys. And like, I was from a different country, which is only 2 hours away. I was the only one that came in with a fucking soccer backpack with my drinks in a little cooler, like very Americanized. So I was like in between, like they were curious because you're 12, so everything's like, but also getting shit on because they're like Mexican and they like to fuck around with you. So it was also kind of that. Like I've always like liked attention, so I was getting a lot of positive and negative, but I was like enjoying the positive of like, oh, like what's this and what's that and like blah blah blah, and like it was fun. You made friends quickly at that age too.
So we fast forward, you make the team. It's 3 years of you living in a different environment, different environment, different routines, from school-wise to training to coaches, much more, something that you weren't used to. How did it shape you as a player and as a human those 3 years? For better or worse? In this case, worse.
Probably. No, since I had never been exposed to like that sort of competition within a team, because like when you're playing someone else, well, you don't have to like, you have to beat them to win the game, but you don't have to like play against them week in, week out, like day in, day out to like win a spot. So like now I was used to only competing on the weekends. Now I was competing every day, and you're at that age where like things can like, or comments can affect the way you think very easily. So I did think my confidence went down a lot in the sense of like, I was used to being the main guy in Laredo or whatever. And now it's like 11 guys or 23 guys that can either are just as technically as good as you or quality as you, or if they're not, they make up for it in different ways. So it was like being exposed to that, like kind of, unfortunately, it kind of shook my confidence a little bit. But also like looking back at it, I value a lot of sacrifices that were made for me, from my mom especially, but like from my family in general. But I was thinking about it like not too long ago. For 2 years, because my first year I was homeschooled, so that was very fun. I was just literally playing soccer and playing video games all day, every day. But for the 2 years that I actually went to school in Mexico, I don't think I had food at home for 2 years straight. Like I would always eat after school in the car. So like you value little things now. Having a warm meal, being able to sit and relax and take your time to eat a meal, especially me that I eat very slow. But yeah, like it puts things into perspective. It wasn't bad, uncomfortable, but it was like an uncomfortable scenario per se.
Okay, we're saying, what phase do you want to talk about next to see how I take us there?
I mean, FC Dallas was very short and not very positive. I mean, I don't mind talking about it. If not, let's get to high school or Toros Academy.
So, just brief summary. You get cut from Rayados, which was heartbreaking for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of in a way getting a closed door on you, like on your dreams.
Yeah.
You recover, or you kind of cope with it. You get a trial at FC Dallas. You're there for 6 months. Injuries follow you there, so never really had a fair shot. We can go into more detail later about that. Then you play high school ball, which you were reluctant to, but you play with the GOAT, the greatest coach I've experienced, with Hermosillo. And obviously, from playing professional academy in Mexico to playing high school in Laredo, it feels internally, or at least I feel like this is how we viewed it. It feels like such a step down. But some of the best ball you played, obviously the level is completely different.
Yeah.
But you're playing striker. Just briefly talking about what that experience was, maybe not soccer-wise, but just what it meant for you.
I mean, to me, I think it was the first time in a very long time where I enjoyed playing, where like it was kind of playing without any pressure or expectations of
Pressure?
What pressure? No expectations for or about anything, you know? You could like you know how long the season's gonna be. If you can like make it a few games further, like that's cool. But it wasn't like, oh, like you're gonna get cut in 6 months if you don't perform right, or if you have an injury. Like, so it was like a lot of like weight off my shoulders in that sense.
Well, for you, it was risking not being able to play because of grades. But that's another story.
Well, yeah, but I mean, as long as you were passing at the time, I don't know how it is.
Still remember your special ed teacher told me, hey, you need to,
When I was riding the short bus,
you need to get it
and,
together, kid.
I would do my homework in the short bus.
No, but while you were there, it was a historic season.
Yeah, I mean, that I was gonna say that. Like, I feel it has a lot to do with the mindset you have towards things. Because, I mean, looking at you playing high school soccer, I was like, this guy can be playing anywhere else, like in the academy, and he's playing here. Like, in my mind, that was not that was mediocre, but like it was a
Damn, tell me how you really feel.
no, it was like a mediocre level in my mind.
You know me, I'm always about giving back. I feel like that time I had to show the kids
No,
what proper soccer is,
I
proper
get that.
footy. No, that's a joke.
But I was like, well, okay, let's say right now I'm here. Like I'm probably the lowest I would want to be. But I mean, it's only mediocre if I let it be mediocre. Like I can have expectations for myself, or I could try to have a good season. I knew I was going to play striker, so I was like, I can try to be top scorer, something, you know? And we ended up making it to Sweet 16, so it was history, and then after that it was a standard. So I'm proud to say I was part of that generation.
Shut the fuck up. It's how MLCU and the great players that come after, but MLCU has a huge role in that. So then you enjoy that season. Do you want to talk about Toros or Charlotte?
I mean, Toros, I was there in the academy and then moved up.
So Toros is RGV, where what was it like having the experience from previously being in Rayados with our mom, yes, and my dad would go way more often than I would, but it was still like we weren't together, we weren't seeing each other every day, which for us was a huge thing growing up with such a close
Type bond.
type bond, and family being so important, at least back then. But
Still is.
still is. But then you go to RGV where you're living with our grandma who put up with your shit for the time that you were there. It's also the first professional contract that you signed.
I went first as an academy player for my senior year of high school. So I didn't play my senior year. I didn't play high school soccer for my senior year. And I was playing academy over there. We were like playing at the highest level of academy, but since they had had a really bad year the year before, we were like playing amongst the like lowest teams, and even then it was like very competitive. But going to RGV, I knew they had a professional team back in the day, and that was like the objective for me to like make that
Which at that time was USL
championship.
Championship,
Yeah.
which is a league right below the MLS.
So that was my objective, to go there, but to be able to move up. It wasn't to find a D1 scholarship. It wasn't to do anything. It was just to, from there, try to make the jump to the pros. And I mean, it was very different because it was very close to home. So if I had a weekend off, I would go home. But living with my grandma, I don't think any of her kids ever played competitive soccer, so.
No, they did. Put some more respect on
What?
my godfather.
That's what they say, and then you see them do the little every time.
But anyways, the viewers are not gonna know what you're talking about. So it's not gonna be spoiled.
Well,
But
If you know, you know.
from academy, you performed well. You were doing, you were doing well.
yeah.
You get moved up to the USL Championship team. You sign your pro contract. What did that mean for you? What were you experiencing at that time? And how was your time there as a professional?
I mean, from signing the contract or whatever, it sounds arrogant for me to say, but listening to Kanye's new album where his mom, No, like I felt it was going to happen. Like there wasn't a doubt in my mind. Just because I was like so focused, and I put all the eggs in that basket. I don't know. It's the feeling that like you just think everything's going right, and then it was. I had coaches that trusted me, that believed in me, so it was like a very positive feeling. And then COVID hit, so the season got shortened. At the time, we were Houston Dynamo's second team, so they sent their reserves over to us. So I got a lot less playing time my first season than what was expected or projected. But even then, I would say all in all, it was a positive season. I didn't play. I hardly got over like 100 minutes, I think. But
Also, during that time, you signed your first professional contract. You're also living on your own, or at least not with family for the first time in your life.
for my second year, yeah.
How was that with in sense of like you're not getting the minutes you want, you're not getting the playing time?
Okay. So the second year, yeah. No, the second year was hell.
I'm a good interviewer, right?
Yeah. You skipped like the first year, but yeah.
Well, okay, it was COVID season, it got shortened,
I played like 100 so minutes. Yeah.
and then
Second year, I got re-signed. I finally started getting paid because it wasn't an academy contract anymore. I get housing too. And then, like looking back at the squad we had, you had players that had played Champions League, that had won Conca Champions, Liga MX, had played Liga MX, like a bunch of
national
teams, U20 World Cups. Like there's some like, I mean, they're not crazy names, right? But like
No, but people that know ball.
Yeah, they know.
Definitely know. Especially Vicente
Vicente
Sanchez
won a Conca Champions as a coach too.
with my beloved Cruz Azul. But he played in Schalke.
Schalke 04. He played World Cup qualifiers with Uruguay back with like Luis Suarez, Diego Forlan.
For any kids that are watching us, just watch Vicente Sanchez Toluca and take some notes. But yeah, absolute baller. And there was other ballers in there, Eric Pimentel, Rodrigo. Anyways, so that season.
So it was kind of like, oh shit, like compared to the first season, it was a whole different team in the sense of like, just like the players in their careers, like it was so much more and so much more experience. So like there's also a lot more like egos you can got in the locker room. So it was like kind of like the first season was an intro, but this shit was very different. And then season starts off. I mean, preseason was a regular old preseason. You have to play because everybody plays. So I went in thinking that I was gonna be getting playing time. That doesn't end up happening. My first 3 months I don't play. I hear an excuse as why I'm not playing. So I work on that. And then another 3 months pass by. And I hear a different excuse as to why I'm not playing. So at that point I was just like, oh, you know what? Like, screw all this. Like, I'm trying, I'm working hard. I've tried talking to the coach. I had really good relationships with all my teammates, but mostly with like Eric and a few others.
The veterans.
Yeah, the veterans. And they all would like give me very good advice and like tell me to keep working, that my time will come. And I had their trust in a way. Or like, Flaco, see, if you play, like, we know you can keep up. We have the scrimmage versus Monterrey. I mean, we get BTA, but that was my only time that I could prove myself. So soccer is not an individual sport, but that game I made it very like individualized as to my performance, because I knew it was the only opportunity I was going to get during season. And I thought I had regardless, we got scored 4 times, but I thought I had a very good game personally. And so then it was like very discouraging, and I fell into like a little depression, or not a little one, but like, you went to go see me, my room was a fucking shit show. I wasn't looking out for myself. I didn't care. I just wanted the season to be over, basically. So you also get that side of the pros. They're like, the first season where I got signed, everybody, hey Diego, congratulations, my brother, this and that, blah blah blah. You get all this attention, and it feeds your ego if you let it, which I unfortunately did. And the second season, a bunch of people like, oh, does he still play, or is he this, is he that, or like people that I thought were friends talking behind my back. It was just very like eye-opening to what now I know the real world is, but that was like through the soccer world. So I've always thought soccer has been my best teacher, my biggest teacher.
Yeah, we can go deeper into it, but I think for us, we both struggled. I don't know how you feel about it nowadays, but much of our identity was tied to being a soccer player.
Yeah.
So if on the field you're not getting minutes, you're not performing,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, well, I identify so strongly as a soccer player. This only means that as a person, I really am not worthy. But then you have the time at Charlotte, another professional contract. Start off doing very well. Do you want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, I mean, that was my actually first time living really far away from home now, because now I was like nearly 2,000 miles away from Laredo, from home. I moved completely on my own now, no family members over there. I know to me it was like a fresh start, something completely far from family drama, because being close to family in McAllen, there's also a lot of that, and just all that, you know? So it was like fresh wind. It was a completely different city, new teammates. Everything was very nice. I started off the season playing quite a lot. Even if I wasn't starting, I would get at least 30, 25 minutes. So, I mean, I was happy because of that. Like you said, a lot of our personality and like was reflected through how we were doing as soccer players. So I was very happy. And then towards the end of the season, I started getting less minutes. Just like it completely shifted from what it was at the beginning of the season. But also I had just gotten out of a really bad season of not playing whatsoever. So I try to stay with the positives. I try not to let it affect me. I was kind of fed up towards the end, but even then, it wasn't nearly as bad as my second year at RGV was. But yeah, I mean, I still made some great friends. Yeah.
So knowing you, that's a very brief summary of Diego's soccer career. Knowing you, knowing your dream as a child, knowing what's important to you, I know you being about to turn 25, your dream wasn't to play USL 2. But at this stage of your life, where you're working, where you have a business within soccer, where you're pursuing other areas of interest and passion, what is this opportunity to play? Again, we know that this isn't your dream or this isn't what you envision for yourself, but nonetheless, what does this represent to you? What expectations you have? Or, yeah, just talk us through what this experience means to you.
I mean, it kind of feels like high school all over again, where it's like no expectations going into it. Obviously, because it was always that, like for the past 2-3 years, I've been playing semi-professional to to see if I got something or to see if another contract came about. But right now, it's like the first time where I want to enjoy playing again. It's not to see if I get a contract. It's our first time playing together, so that's, to me, that's the main takeaway of
No, it's definitely an honor for you.
for you. Like it's being able to balance my responsibilities right now that I enjoy, but also like they're responsibilities for a reason. But also being able to do my passion and if my time allows it, or which it does in this case. Like to me, I mean, I'm about to be 25, like you said. I want to be able to look back at this when I'm on my deathbed or whatever, and like, oh shit, like at 25 I was playing with my older brother, I was working, I was living with my mom, like helping her out. Like it was a fun time, and that's the way I see it right now, in a different city from where we grew up in, with like a lot more things to do, events. Just I want to enjoy like everything, not only the soccer part of it, but obviously that's a big part of it.
Well, this summer you can catch Leo Rocha with the Hill Country Lobos.
With Jorge Rocha.
Sorry. But that's the interview. I don't know if there's anything else you want to add or say.
No, I didn't know I was gonna get interviewed.
Well, it's a podcast. I mean, we talk about.
Yeah. No, but yeah, I mean.
The main thing was announcing that we're back. The Beaners are back. And for us, soccer has been around since we can remember. And it represents so much to us beyond just the game and the physical aspect of it. I think some of the strongest bonds are our business. Still our dreams and aspirations revolve around soccer. So we're excited to share this journey and how we live it. Like Dale said, balancing a full-time job, balancing a business, but also share what we're doing from a nutrition perspective, from a lifestyle perspective, to try to optimize our performance. I'm about to be 30, so
Shit.
this is a cool challenge for me. But yeah, this is the first episode back. Going forward, we want to talk about different things revolving the sport, but at the same time that are very applicable to life. So that's going to be the intention, the goal of this new version of our podcast, our space.
Should be a fun season. Yeah. Especially what the coach was telling us, that we're going kind of into the season like unks.
Yeah, as the more experienced veteran presence.
So that in of itself should be like not a challenge, but a responsibility in a way.
Yeah, one that we definitely have learned how not to do it.
Yeah.
Just from previous experiences. But yeah, that's it for episode 1. I'm sure in the comments, I'm gonna read a bunch of comments saying like, "Oh, we wanted to hear Jorge's
You want me to interview?
No, we'll leave it for the next one.
Okay.
But again, we're so happy to be back. We're excited. It is going to be a challenge to, even this podcast, balance the responsibilities that we have. But
Just getting the new mics to work, we were struggling, so
yeah, I don't know if the quality of the audio is going to be
hopefully you heard us.
good. But yeah, I look forward to not only the season, but also to being able to talk about our experience throughout it. So that's a wrap for episode 1. Peace and love.
Rest in peace, Chuck Norris.